Exclusive details on what's in this crate. Triggers for nuclear weapons.
NBC News clobbers the competition on Iraq. Wherever news breaks, whatever it takes.
Making a simple phone call isn't always simple for the deaf and hearing impaired, but new technology and the DEAF relay service are making it easier.
Hi, I have a call for you from a hearing impaired caller.
Hi, Renee. It's great to talk to you.
A lot of good things are bringing the deaf and hearing communities closer together. Things like closed captioning on KARE 11 News. NewsScribe 11 for the deaf and hearing impaired communities is funded in part by NSP.
At Twin City Tire, we work on the finest high-performance cars in the world, so we have to know our business. For over 20 years, our customers have trusted us for the best balancing, alignment, and service at the lowest possible prices. We stock the largest inventory of tires and custom wheels in this part of the country. 2 convenient locations, Richfield and Fridley. Come see us today and select your tires from our complete Dunlop line. Tires are our only business, so we have to be the best. Twin City Tire.
Diana Pierce on KARE 11 News.
We're the cast and crew of the Sunrise Show, and we want to wish Gil a happy retirement and good morning, KARE country.
Now, the Twin Cities' fastest growing television news. KARE 11 Sunrise with Amy Powell, Kara King, Steve Carroll on sports, and meteorologist Sonny House.
Good morning at 6 o'clock on this Friday, March 30th. And it's a nice, calm, beautiful morning out there once again.
It looked nice and peaceful, that little shot, didn't it?
Sure did.
I'm Gil Amundson for Amy Powell today. This is Kara King. That was Oscar that said that on the... He's a ham. You know how much he put into that. It was really something.
Now, is this a day you thought you'd ever see come?
Well, I guess I thought I'd see it, but, you know, you don't know what to expect. I drove to work like normal. And
After 30 years, this is Gil Amundson's last day with our show and with the television station, KARE TV. And it's been a pleasure having you here, too.
Thank you.
And we'll
nice working with you.
Talk more about it throughout the show. Ellen Ferrara is here for Sonny House. And
Yes.
we hope your forecasts keep going like they have been.
It is. Gil, you are going to enjoy this first weekend of your freedom here. It is going to be beautiful. In fact, right into next week, temperatures are going to average above normal. For today, we are going to be finding some hazy sunshine, and temperatures will be climbing right through the 50s, close to 60 degrees by this afternoon. And I don't have much of a cool down to talk about into the weekend. I'll have the details in a few minutes.
And you won't hear us complain. Thanks, Ellen. Gil has the top stories. Gil?
A 2-alarm fire at a Minneapolis cleaning products company posed a potential threat to firefighters late last night. The fire at Gracely Products Incorporated started inside a tractor trailer filled with barrels of methanol, ammonia, and alcohol. The leaking chemicals forced firefighters to wear oxygen masks. The fire, with flames shooting 15 feet into the air at one point, was quickly controlled and the chemicals were safely contained. In Bloomington, investigators have not released the name yet of a woman killed in a fire there. Firemen were called to the home on Old Shakopee Road yesterday morning. They had the flames out quickly, but not in time to save the life of the resident. It's believed a cigarette had been smoldering in the kitchen all night before the fire started. There were no smoke detectors in the house. If there had been, it probably would have saved the woman's life. The Phillips neighborhood in South Minneapolis is trying to get rid of an unwanted neighbor, a liquor store. The Phillips community members are tired of tussles on their streets and trash in their parks, so now they're fighting back. The first of 10 billboards to be put up in the neighborhood tells residents to be proud.
It's tempting. It's tempting to get up and move instead of do something about it, and that's what we've done. We've done something about it. This is a start.
The neighbors want to convince state lawmakers to buy out Snyder's liquor store because they say broken bottles litter the playground and loitering drunks create the problems. The Minneapolis Park Board has already voted to buy out and relocate the store if enough money is gathered. U.S. Agriculture Secretary Clayton Yiders says he'll try to give Minnesota and Wisconsin dairy farmers a break. During a visit to the Twin Cities yesterday, he announced that the government will hold hearings on potential changes in the federal milk marketing system. Minnesota and several other states have sued the government over that system. State officials claim it's forced thousands of Midwestern farmers out of business because it guarantees higher milk prices to farmers in southern states. Yarder told about 1,000 farmers in Wilmer about the milk hearings yesterday afternoon. Many of them are dairy farmers, and the prospects of changes in the milk program drew a favorable response. The hearings will begin this fall. State buildings may become more accessible for the physically disabled. KARE 11's Capitol correspondent Dennis Stauffer has more on that, along with a preview of today's events.
Help may be in store for state buildings which are not handicapped accessible. A bill which would allow the installation of stairway chairlifts to make the buildings accessible will be heard in a Senate committee this morning. Also today, the Ethical Practices Board will meet to discuss 1990 legislative recommendations. The Minnesota State Lottery Board will hold an afternoon meeting, and the Toxic Pollution Prevention Bill will receive a hearing in the Senate today. That bill establishes monetary penalties for releasing toxic pollutants. That's a look at what's coming up at the Capitol today. For KARE 11 Sunrise, I'm Dennis Stauffer.
The Toxic Pollution Bill also provides grants for innovative pollution reduction programs. It was a day in court for 2 of the 3 Northwest Airlines crew members accused of flying while intoxicated. Both were released yesterday after they agreed not to fly any aircraft. The men were found to have blood alcohol levels exceeding federal regulations after piloting a flight from Fargo, North Dakota to Minneapolis on March 8th. Final arguments are set for today in the Iran-Contra trial of former Reagan administration official John Poindexter. The ex-National Security Advisor faces charges he lied to Congress about secret arms sales to Iran. The jury in the Washington trial is to get the case on Monday. House Democratic leaders say they're pleased with sweeping legislation aimed at their youngest constituents. Speaker Tom Foley says he's very, very happy with a child care bill he terms a landmark. The measure passed yesterday would create the first national standards for daycare centers and would help the poor pay for child care. In addition, the proposal would provide funds for a new program of daycare based in public schools. And Veldy Kelly of Vandalia, Illinois, does not like smokers and sits in the non-smoking section of McDonald's for lunch most every day. The other day, a customer walked through the non-smoking section with a lit cigar, so Veldy doused him with his cup of coffee. Veldy's in trouble with the law.
So there's only certain things you can do to prevent that from happening. Ellen Reed joins us now, and just every day since you've been here, unbelievable weather.
It's been great. For the last 2 days, we've had highs in the mid-50s. We'll even approach 60 degrees by this afternoon with some hazy sun. The weekend's looking great. Spring is here. What else can I say? Let's have a look at the currents. Mostly clear skies right now. A little bit of haze out there, 33 degrees. Winds are now light out of the southeast at 7 miles an hour. We have a dew point temperature of 29 degrees, humidity 85%, and pressure's holding steady at 30.10 inches. Elsewhere, readings across the state are generally in the 30s. In fact, it's even a few degrees milder to the north. 35 now in International Falls, 39 degrees for Thief River Falls and also into Grand Forks, 36 now in Bismarck, and temperatures 24 as we head further south into Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 40 right now into Des Moines. Well, here's that satellite loop for you. Skies fair across the state, but we still have those clouds hovering off to the south where they've been for the last day and a half or so. Heavy showers and thunderstorms off to our south, but we are going to remain in this wedge of dry air all day today with the hazy sun. Still lots of storms to the south around Texas and parts of Louisiana, with several tornadoes which touched down last night. And today's weather map features all of that moisture tied up with a couple of low pressure systems and stalled fronts. Very warm and moist air ahead of this system and relatively cooler air behind it, but temperatures across the nation today are basically going to be about 50 degrees or milder. In fact, there'll be a patch of 60-degree readings from Minnesota west and south. Here's the forecast in detail then for you. Today we'll find the hazy sun and highs 55 to 60. Tonight it's going to be a mild night with skies mainly clear, low temperatures only cooling into the upper 30s. And then for tomorrow, about 61 degrees for a high, still plenty of sun. Into Sunday, we could see a few afternoon showers, but I still think a fair amount of sunshine, highs in the 50s. Monday's looking good as well.
You'll probably be out there in your boat tomorrow already.
You can keep coming back here, Ellen. That's good.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Well, the ice is gone on most of the lakes, so let's go water skiing this weekend. How's that?
Okay. Thanks, Ellen.
Coming up on Sunrise, Farmstead begins bankruptcy proceedings.
And throughout the show, a few of Gil's many friends and coworkers will have a little to say about him. Here's the first.
I just wanted to take this minute to say goodbye, Gil, and I wanted you to think of me next winter where you're someplace nice and warm and replace all your divots and repair your ball mark.
Well, Gil, after all these years, we're going to miss your bleary old eyes around here at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Goodbye, Gil, and try to keep your emotions under control in your retirement.
What do you think we should do with this place?
Oh, I don't know. I've always loved peach.
Peach? How about green and wood?
How about contemporary with a torchère?
A what?
Or flowers. We could do flowers. Oh, honey, I think we need a designer to help us.
Gephardt's expert designers would love to help, and it won't cost you a penny more. Gephardt's Home Center, Lakeville.
What does a broken record sound like? No can openers, no belly flops, no cannonballs.
Don't miss Health Fair 11. This year you can visit over 100 sites for free screenings for height, weight, vision, blood pressure. Plus, for the first time ever, there's an optional test that can give you breakdowns on both good and bad cholesterol.
So take charge of your health at Health Fair 11 from March 31st to April 14th.
For more information, call the Connection at 922-9000.
Sponsored by the Health One family of hospitals, including Metropolitan Mount Sinai Medical Center and Sioux Valley Hospital.
Time now 6:10, 33 degrees in the Twin Cities this morning. The owner of Farmstead Foods has begun U.S. bankruptcy court proceedings for his idle Albert Lee plant. It has debts of $44.2 million. Barnes Corn Belt Meats Incorporated sought protection from its creditors late yesterday under Chapter 11 of the Bankruptcy Code. The filing came 8 days after Barnes announced that his company was going out of business. It left 1,250 people out of work in the town of about 19,000. The dollar is up in trading in Japan this morning. In Europe, it's trading at 156.65 yen. The price of gold is at $372.50 an ounce. And Wall Street posted its first loss in 5 sessions yesterday. The Dow Industrials dropped almost 16 points to 2,727.70 in moderate trade of 132 million shares.
Peter Lynch, the man responsible for Fidelity Investments' Magellan Fund, has announced his resignation. Financial analyst Erica Whitlinger tells us how his decision may affect many of us. News item.
Well, this is probably the most widely held mutual fund in the country, Kara. Lynch is, I would think, the best money manager in the world. He's got a superb long-term track record on a 10 and 15-year basis. The fund is one of the biggest in the world. It has about $14 billion in assets. Lynch has gotten a lot of publicity. Very often, fund management companies don't publicize who the manager is because they're afraid the manager will resign and you will take your money and go elsewhere. And he's gotten a lot of publicity. He's very well known. He shows up in the financial press all the time. He wrote an excellent book on investing. So he's very well known. And Fidelity has sort of sold him as well as the fund. And of course, the big fear of companies like Fidelity is that their superstar will then leave.
What do you think will happen to the fund in the future?
Well, what I suspect is going to happen is that most investors will say, well, the things that he bought are still in the fund and everything is okay, and I'll just wait and see. And indeed, Lynch has been building up big cash reserves just in case people start doing a lot of redemptions if they want to get their money out of the fund when he leaves. What I suspect is going to happen is that the next time, the fund is volatile, it does go down when the market goes down, that when the market takes another hit in the future, if the market takes a big hit and the fund does go down, I suspect that all the mice are going to jump off the ship at that point in time. The Fidelity funds seem to have a lot of what we call do-it-yourself investors, people who make their own investment decisions. They also tend to be more nervous, I think, than many other kinds of investors, and they're more likely to switch and to panic if things go wrong.
Can anyone replace Peter Lynch?
I'm not certain that there is. There are other fine money managers in the world, but the guy has built up a reputation that's really unequaled. And of course, he has a unique style. All good money managers like that do.
Erica will be with us once again next Friday.
And now, with our first dose of sports this morning, Steve Carroll.
Yeah, Coach Pierre Paget of the North Star is not exactly happy with his boys at this point of the season. In fact, he doesn't have, they could say they don't have the players on the same Paget going into the play.
You could say that.
I had to say that. It's about the only thing we could say, yeah. North Stars are on their way to St. Louis this morning, but they play the Blues tomorrow night in the second to last game of the regular season. Stars got bounced by Buffalo last night 4-2, so they remain in fourth place in the North Division, 4 points behind Toronto. Pick up the action now in the second period with no score. Aaron Broughton with a nice pass to Dave Gagne, who fired it into the open net. His 38th of the year. Stars led 1-0. Minnesota added to the lead a bit later. Neil Broughton to Brian Bellows, who kicked it in. They counted it, though. 54th of the year for Bellows. Stars led 2-1. Stars took a nap after that. Buffalo scored 3 times in the third period. Scott O'Neill deflected in the puck over Kerry Taco for what turned out to be the game winner. Sabres come back to defeat the Stars in Buffalo. The final was 4-2. The Final Four in college hockey hit the ice in Detroit tonight. There's a new format this year, so all the semifinal games are played on one night, and the championship game is set for Sunday. Here are the matchups. Colgate takes on Boston U at 4 o'clock. Then the Badgers continue their drive for 5 national titles by facing off against Boston College. Of course, we'll let you know what happens in those games tonight on KARE 11 News at 10. In baseball news, the Twins will try to snap their 2-game losing streak this afternoon. They host the Astros again at Tinker Field. Twins are 1-3 in exhibition play after falling to the Reds yesterday in Plant City, Florida. Final score there was 4-2. Pick up the action in that game. Roy Smith on the hill for the Twins early. Paul O'Neill rips a Smith pitch into the gap. Johnny Moses can't quite make the catch. Cincinnati runner wheels around the score on a triple as the Reds led 1-0. Later in the game, Cincinnati cashed in on a Minnesota miscue. Brian Harper's throw to third on a pickoff attempt sailed into left field, allowing veteran Ken Griffey to trot home. The Reds go on to beat the Twins by the score of 4-2. There's going to be some top-notch college baseball in the Metrodome this weekend as the Gophers host the annual Pillsbury Tournament. Miami takes on defending national champion Wichita State in the opener at 2. The Gophers entertain Stanford tonight as the 3-day round-robin tournament gets underway. Tickets on sale at the Metrodome and cost only $3 a day.
What is a Paget?
A Paget? It's a French word.
Oh, well, nice going. Right. Kara?
Thanks, Gil. Here are some of the stories still ahead on Sunrise. Ellen Ferraro will have the forecast for weekend travelers, and we'll introduce you to a bear who's on her way to recovery. Stay with us.
Well, I guess I'm not going to say goodbye because you're my dad. You're not retiring from that. I just want to say me and a whole lot of other people here are really going to miss you, and why don't you give me a call sometime and we'll play golf.
This is me, Nancy McCosey, before Nutrisystem. And this is me now.
You already know Nutrisystem works. Now a national survey proves Nutrisystem is your best choice for success. 2,000 dieters were asked, how effective is your weight loss program? The results gave top scores to Nutrisystem. More clients report it's effective. You get results with Nutrisystem.
Now lose all the weight you can at Nutrisystem for only $89. Don't wait, call now.
Here's this week's KARE 11 News Express run. Minneapolis Route 17H from St. Louis Park to downtown Minneapolis. Leaves the Amherst Apartments at 7:32 a.m., Target at 7:37, arrives at 7th Street and Nicollet at 8:10. Join KARE 11 in the MTC for a free ride on the KARE 11 News Express.
You looking for some good times? Your Kawasaki dealer's got just what you need. Good times credit. If you qualify, you can use it on just about anything in the store. Motorcycles, jet ski watercraft, apparel, accessories, even service. You'll get an answer fast and even better, zero-down financing. So get on down to your Kawasaki dealer while he's still got something left to sell you.
Now at Leo's Kawasaki and Anoka Ramsey Sports Center.
The 70s were the decade of self-interest. The 80s, the years of world interest. This, however, is the year of no interest. Pay no interest for 1 year, plus put no money down during the 1-year free financing sale at Sun Valley Waterbeds. You'll also save on a huge selection of beds and bedroom furniture, from black lacquer to solid oak to Sealy Posturepedic. Global interests are great, but no interest is better. Pay no interest for 1 year and no money down through Monday at Sun Valley Waterbeds and more. Offer good with $1,000 minimum amount purchase and when balance is paid within 12 months.
Sunrise time now is 18 minutes after 6. Here are some of today's top stories. A 2-alarm fire breaks out in a cleaning products company. A Minneapolis neighborhood wants a local liquor store moved. And a landmark bill is passed for children. Now the details. Firefighters were forced to wear oxygen masks while fighting a 2-alarm fire late last night. The fire broke out in a trailer filled with barrels of methanol, ammonia, and alcohol. Residents in the Phillips neighborhood want state lawmakers to buy out a local liquor store, which they say is causing problems in their neighborhood. And a bill that will create the first national standards for daycare centers passed yesterday. The bill will also help the poor pay for child care.
We have got a good-looking weekend coming up. Ellen is here standing by to tell us just how good. Ellen?
Well, more typical of mid to late April temperatures for today, right on into tomorrow, Gil. Here's a look at our satellite loop now. Because of the jet stream, we continue to find all the moisture suppressed to our south. The Gulf Stream is continuing to fuel these numerous thunderstorms with several tornadoes as winds continue to swirl in a counterclockwise direction around low pressure. But we're in this drier wedge just to the north. We'll find some hazy sunshine today. Maybe a few of these stray clouds working their way in on Sunday with a couple of isolated showers. But it's certainly shaping up nicely. Here's today's weather map. Winds are going to be shifting into the south this afternoon at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. That will help to bring up some of this mild air to the south. That's why temperatures will max out close to 60 degrees by this afternoon. And as you can see from the rest of the country, it is a very mild weather map. We'll find 60-degree readings here to the west, just a pocket of 40s in through the central plain states where they'll find overcast skies and occasional rain. Here's the details of the forecast then. For today, hazy sunshine and highs 55 to 60 with wind shifting into the south. For tonight, mainly clear and mild overnight, lows only dropping into the upper 30s. Tomorrow's weather will feature plenty of sun, once again in the lower 60s and maybe a few showers into Sunday. But overall, I think it's going to be about a 9 out of a scale of 1 to 10. Gil?
At least a 9, Ellen. There's a happy ending to be told about a bear who wandered into town, was shocked on a utility pole. The bear was badly burned in last August's incident and has recovered nicely. Yesterday, the vets checked Sparky and her cub one last time before releasing the pair into the wild.
The other bears are just now coming out of hibernation, and that gives her a very good competitive chance of setting up a territory at the same time that they're setting up territories.
Sparky and her cub were both ear-tagged, will be closely monitored by radio to make sure that she doesn't come close to that city again.
Well, still ahead on Sunrise, how to help the paramedics before they arrive on the scene. And we'll tell you about help for people with low vision.
Gil, you'll now have the time to do what you want to do. That's a privilege earned the hard way over a long course of time. So good luck and enjoy. And remember, to live in hearts we leave behind is not to die. This is water.
This is old, this is new. At Electric Avenue, you save on the hottest brand names in floor care. And now all Eureka vacuums are on sale at Electric Avenue. Even the Boss is on sale. It cuts your cleaning time in half. You get more power, more deep cleaning, and it's only $99.99. All Eureka on sale this week only. It's another one of America's hottest brands backed by Montgomery Ward's price match guarantee. On sale now at Electric Avenue.
Montgomery Ward, but still is what's in it for you.
They're the people you come home to. Friendly faces that always take you in.
Reaching out to the hands that will hold you. It's your family that picks you up again.
Family matters.
People care.
It's always good to know your family matters.
Come on, everybody, off to Walt Disney's World on Ice.
Think of something so nice, like Walt Disney's World on Ice. Join Mickey Mouse and Peter Pan. Come along to Neverland. We'll lead you through the sky. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
For memories your family will treasure, don't miss Walt Disney's World on Ice starring Peter Pan.
Now appearing through Sunday, April 1st at Met Center. Good seats still available. Get your tickets at the Met Center box office and all Ticketmaster locations today.
These wonderful pictures are brought to you in part
by the 2,603 people who rode in the KARE 11 Bike Classic last summer. They raised nearly $250,000 for newborns and mothers at the Health One family of hospitals. And this year, riders will again make a difference for patients at the Health One Buffalo Hospital, Mercy and Unity Medical Centers, and the Sioux Valley Hospital. So call now for more information on the KARE 11 Bike Classic. It's great fun for a great cause.
Sunrise time is 6:24. We've got a great day shaping up. Right now it's 33 degrees. In emergency situations, those who dial 911 often forget to do several things that could mean the difference between life and death. Healthcare reporter Asha Blake spent the day with a paramedic team from Hennepin County Medical Center, and here's their advice.
3700 Cedar Lake Avenue, 3rd floor, cardiac arrest.
From first call to arrival, the average time it takes for an HCMC ambulance team to get to the scene is 6 minutes. And in that time, you can do several things to help yourself and them out. If it's dark, turn the house lights on, unlock the door, and have someone waiting there to show the paramedics in.
Oh, yeah.
Simple directions, but ones we forget in the moment of panic. Our first patient was a 10-month-old baby who was having seizures in North Minneapolis. Several things were done right here. The door was unlocked, and the patient and his mother were near the door. But on the way to the hospital, the mother couldn't remember exactly what medication her son was taking.
It's very important that we gather all the medicine and write them down. So in our communications with the physicians at the hospital, we don't give a medicine that shouldn't be given.
Our next call was to the Minneapolis Athletic Club. A pantry worker had fallen down after having a seizure.
2nd floor, they got the elevator for you.
Employees were there to point the way and to tell what happened.
This is the way I found her. And she was gasping for air.
He was able to tell us what he knew about what had happened to the patient, and so the transfer of information was real smooth, and getting to the patient was real smooth, and so it worked out very well.
Asha Blake, KARE 11 Sunrise.
If you call for a paramedic for yourself and you can't get to the door, remember to tell the 911 operator that the door may be locked. That way they can also call for assistance from the fire department if they need to break into your house.
Also in healthcare, the life expectancy for Americans has risen to a record high. The Centers for Disease Control says babies born in 1987 will live an average of 75 years. That's a slight increase over the previous year. The nation's death rate also fell to an all-time low in 1987. Tens of thousands of Americans suffer from a handicap that threatens their way of life. It's called low vision, and it can rob a person of dignity and independence. But there is help. Doctors at low vision clinics can prescribe things like strong reading glasses, handheld magnifiers, and telescopes to help a patient's eyes function better. And since most are sensitive to bright light, there are special sunglasses to help ease the glare.
Well, coming up in the next half hour on Sunrise, Jim Gwynn will have a look at the rush hour traffic, and we'll tell you about a dangerous sport becoming popular in a dry lake bottom. Stay with us.
Gil, it's been almost 3 months since the last time we worked together on Sunrise and I left for a job at the state capitol. But in the 3.5 years before that, you showed me many times, by your example, what it means to be a professional. I'd like to thank you for that and wish you the best of luck in your retirement.
The luxurious feel of top grain leather, buttery smooth, direct from Italy, an investment in quality, and Slumberland makes it affordable. Right now, get this beautifully styled sofa, chair and ottoman, 2 handcrafted fossil stone tables, and designer lamp. All 6 pieces for just $19.88. Simply styled, simply elegant. The leather collection at Slumberland. If you think you can get more for less anywhere else, dream on.
This is a message for all the car manufacturers who have been trying to copy the Plymouth Voyager for 6 years. If what you want is a Plymouth Voyager, just tell us. Perhaps we'll build them for you, and you can simply put your names on the front. Voyager from Plymouth.
Hurry to your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Clean & Press announces the biggest change in dry cleaning. Finally, a full-service dry cleaner at discount prices. If you paid our price at other dry cleaners, here's about what you'd get dry cleaned. Half a jacket, half a skirt, or half a pair. At Clean & Press, we'll dry clean the whole thing for about half the price. Every day. We clean your clothes, not your pockets.
Most garments priced under $2 with 32 convenient locations to serve you.
Good morning. It's 6:29 and 33 degrees. I'm Kara King.
I'm Gil Amundson, in for Amy Powell today.
And we should mention once again, this is Gil Amundson's last day with us with KARE TV.
I hope I get through it here.
He's retiring after 30 years. And Ellen rejoins us, and just good news upon good news upon good news.
Except for moisture, we are not going to get that, although the jet stream has shown signs of changing itself for next week. Until then, it's just going to be dry, warm, and sunny for the next few days. Here's a look at that satellite loop now as we take a look at what's going on across the... Well, first let's check the 5-state temperatures, and that way we'll show you temperatures across the region. In fact, it's only 33 degrees right now. 33 also in Rochester and 30 in Redwood Falls, but even milder to the north and west. 39 in Thief River Falls and Grand Forks. 32 over in Pierre, and 36 degrees in Sioux City, Iowa. Now that satellite loop still shows all of the stormy weather that's been to our south for about the last 2 days. Those red shades show you some powerful thunderstorms which continue to develop even at this hour. And today's weather map features a couple of low pressure systems to our south, but with the help of a split flow in the jet stream, we'll remain on the dry side of it all. Wind shifting into the south means a milder day today. Here's the forecast now for you. Today, we'll find the hazy sunshine, temperatures approaching 60 degrees as winds shift into the south. Mainly clear and mild tonight, lows in the upper 30s. Still a gorgeous day tomorrow with highs in the low 60s and plenty of sun.
Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad, warm and sunny. I guess it can't be dry and precipitation at the same time. We'll take 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Thanks, Ellen. Gil?
In the news this morning, Minneapolis firefighters were forced to wear oxygen masks while fighting an overnight chemical fire. The 2-alarm fire began in a tractor-trailer containing barrels of methanol, ammonia, and alcohol. The chemicals belong to Grace Lee Products Incorporated, a cleaning products company. The fire, which spread to the building, was quickly contained and the chemicals were confined without incident. Cause of the fire is under investigation. There is no evidence of a link between cancer and Agent Orange exposure, according to a new study done by the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta. The chemical defoliant was used for 5 years during the Vietnam War, and thousands of American GIs were probably exposed, but the Veterans Administration has never certified Agent Orange claims for disability benefits. The VA does offer medical treatment for veterans suffering from cancer and other diseases, and vets like Joe Nolenberg of Bloomington think the study is frustrating.
I think to the vets that perhaps have cancer, or where there's families who are definitely suffering from it in a lot of different ways, yeah, I think it feels like we can't do anything.
More than 58,000 Minnesotans served in Vietnam while Agent Orange was being used, and more than 10,000 asked to be tested in the 1980s for Agent Orange exposure. President Bush said a few words to the National Leadership Coalition on AIDS on behalf of AIDS victims. Bush said people with AIDS should be treated with dignity, confidentiality, and without discrimination. Activists praised Bush as the first president to make a major statement on AIDS. But protesters picketed the speech outside, and 5 members of the AIDS group ACT UP were arrested before Bush spoke. Residents in Andover are upset that a dry lake bed is being used as a recreation vehicle playground. Round Lake and other lakes in that area are experiencing exposed lake bottoms, which attracts recreational vehicles. And as KARE 11's Melissa Young reports, there could be danger to both the environment and those taking part in the four-wheel fun.
From the air, you can see the old riverbed. That's about the only water left in Round Lake. The drought has taken its toll, and four-wheel drive vehicles have moved in. Don Magnum lives on the lake and now drives across it, too.
To get dirty, have fun, I don't know. Beat on my truck a little bit, see what breaks, see what it can handle.
Problem is, it's illegal, violating state laws regarding recreational vehicle trespass. That is not a concern for the owner of this truck. Stuck in the muck since Sunday, it took 4 days and $2,500 to get it towed out. Dennis Erickson says he thinks driving out here is dangerous.
from like here out, where the water is out, it's just a frost bank of about 18 inches. And if a vehicle goes through there, we don't know where the bottom is. We stuck poles down, 20-foot poles, and we never hit the bottom. Back her off.
But neighbors are more concerned about the toll the four-wheeling is having on the environment. Experts say it will be felt.
It's certainly a nuisance, and it's probably gonna make the wildlife that's there relocate for a short time. It's not gonna have a long-term effect.
According to the DNR, once the water comes back, the ecosystem should return to normal. The question is, when will the water return?
3 years ago, this lake had record high water levels, and that could happen again depending on the weather. But DNR experts say as long as the drought continues, Round Lake and other lakes like it will remain more a mud field than a lake. Melissa Young, KARE 11 Sunrise, Andover.
While Minnesota has no law banning driving across the lake bottoms or dry creek beds, Wisconsin law does prohibit such activity. By a one-vote margin, the Senate defeated an amendment by Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia that would have compensated coal miners and other workers who lose their jobs because of clean air legislation. Fear that the amendment would unravel a bipartisan compromise on the bill and would prompt a White House veto led to the 50-49 vote. The full bill is expected to be voted on next Tuesday. Metro area food shelves have gotten a big boost thanks to a giant feast at the International Market Square. 32 chefs from local restaurants donated their time and expertise for the annual Taste of the Nation fundraiser. About 3,000 people chipped in $30 apiece to sample gourmet dishes. In all, $90,000 were raised and will be donated to the Minnesota Food Bank Network. And Jeff Link of Charlotte, North Carolina robbed a bank, then slipped into a nearby coin laundry, stripped down to his underwear. He then ran down the street hoping police would think he was a jogger. He was wearing the wrong kind of underwear and didn't fool anyone. He's in jail now. Wonder what they were. Maybe he had long Johnsons on. Huh?
I don't know, but since this is a family show, we don't have tape, folks. Sorry. Thanks, Gil. Well, it's time now for a check on the Friday morning rush hour. Let's go to our expert at Metro Traffic Control. Jim?
Well, Kara, extra traveling time, always a good idea on Friday morning. Things do tend to start early, so you might want to leave the home for the workplace today, like we said a little bit earlier. We do have slow traffic on the west already. It's 494 southbound, starts about Rockford Road. It'll run down to Carlson Parkway and Brooklyn Park. Same thing, northwest side, 694, Highway 169 to Brooklyn Boulevard, some heavy traffic. And if you're traveling in St. Paul, watch out 94 westbound, the same Earl Street to 35E. Reports just coming in of a stalled vehicle right now, 94 westbound on the Dartmouth Bridge, and is blocking a lane of traffic. Now, I think we've got a little special thing here for Gil, something a little closer to home. And we're having to deal with the golf cart traffic. You see there, Gil, we have a little helicopter reporting golf cart congestion, and something you might need a little bit more from now on. Good luck in your retirement, by the way, Gil.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Ahead on Sunrise, how some Twin Cities companies are taking another step forward in recycling.
And here are a few more of the people who want to wish Gil a happy retirement.
Gil, it's been a pleasure working with you. You've been a fantastic coworker and a great friend, and I wish you all the best in your future. Good luck.
We're going to miss you, Gil.
We're going to miss you a lot. Even though you still won't adopt me and my family, you'd be a great dad.
Yeah, so get out on that golf course and hit a few for me.
That's
and have
right.
a great retirement. Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
Mitsubishi means money.
Big money for you.
Up to $1,000 is yours in the Big Money giveaway.
Going on now at Richfield, White Bear, and Wayzata Mitsubishi.
Monteros mean money. Big money.
You pay far less than Jeep Cherokee.
And then you get $1,000 big money on the spot.
The choice is yours. Buy a Mitsubishi Galant at a big discount and get $1,000 big money.
Or pay more for an Accord and get nothing.
The choice is obvious.
The Big Money giveaway ends soon.
Hurry now to Richfield, White Bear, or Wayzata Mitsubishi.
It's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep.
I toss and turn, punch pillows, count sheep, disturb my wife, and I do this every night. What's wrong with me?
Read the A to Z Guide to Better Sleep. It's a free booklet from the nonprofit Better Sleep Council of America. The A to Z Guide to Better Sleep. It's packed with 20 pages of information on how to get a good night's sleep. Call toll-free, and the Craftmatic Adjustable Bed Company will mail this helpful guide to you free.
This booklet is great.
Thanks, Craftmatic. To get your free sleep guide by return mail, plus full details about Craftmatic adjustable beds, call toll-free. To enjoy sweet dreams, call now. There's absolutely no obligation.
Call 1-800-247-7776. That's 1-800-247-7776. Toll free. Call 1-800-247-7776.
Call The Connection this week for specials that will help you get your house ready for spring. Call The Connection right now for specials on carpet cleaning, chimney sweeping, furnace cleaning, air conditioning cleaning and service, furniture repair and recovering, cleaning supplies, self-storage, and much more. So remember, call The Connection at 922-9000 this week to get your house in shape for family Easter gatherings. Our friendly operators are on duty 24 hours a day to serve you, and it's a free call.
Time now 6:39, 33 degrees in the Twin Cities this morning. The Twin Cities is already ahead of the rest of the country in recycling efforts, but today we're about to take another step forward. Several Twin Cities corporations will be joining together in one of the country's largest recycling operations to reprocess used corrugated boxes. And joining us this morning is Howard Ingram from Stone Container. Good morning, Howard. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Gil.
This is a big project, eh? Would you just outline it for us?
Well, Gil, at our big paperboard mill at Missoula, Montana, we just completed a $16 million capital project allowing us to use recycled fiber. For a number of years, we wanted to use recycled fiber at that mill, but we considered Missoula, Montana too far from any of the sources. But we discovered working with Burlington Northern Railroad that they have a number of railroad cars that come into the Midwest with goods and then deadhead empty back to the West. We were able to work with Burlington Northern and come up with some attractive freight rates that are allowing us now to help the solid waste disposal problem throughout the upper Midwestern cities by taking recycled fiber back to Missoula, Montana. We have now kicked off the project in Chicago with picked up 10 cars there. We're hitting 6 cities in the upper Midwest. By the time we leave Denver, Colorado, moving to Missoula, Montana, we will have 60 carloads of recycled fiber, over 3,000 tons, demonstrating that once again that we can lick this solid waste disposal problem.
Howard, you brought along a tape here a little bit. This is kind of explains what the whole thing is about, I guess, huh?
Yeah, this is the Recycle Express train, which shows the 6 Midwestern cities that we're picking up fiber. Here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, we're picking up fiber from the Waldorf Corporation along with McDonald's. And this is showing shots of the paper arriving at our big mill at Missoula, Montana, that will be reprocessed into new kraft linerboard again and making good paperboard once again.
But the ultimate thing is we save trees, is that it, and other things?
Oh, we save trees, and then of course, as you know, we're running out of landfills all across the country, and this is another part of our effort to solve the solid waste disposal problem.
Thank you, Howard. Good effort. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Kara?
Well, still ahead on Sunrise, Ellen Ferrara will tell us if this warm weather will be here for the weekend. And in sports, the Dome is getting ready for a big baseball weekend. Don't go away.
Gil hired me 11 lucky years ago during that transition between Channel 11 being an independent station and going to an NBC station. It's been fun these past few years, and Gil, now you can move on to things like perfecting your golf game, and we wish you the best of luck.
We're at the KARE 11 studios inviting you to call this number and be a part of the first studio audience for our new program, Between Friends. Come on, I'll show you. Here is the set. Isn't it beautiful? Well, it will be, trust me. Here's the show's producer, Janet. How's it?
I can't talk now. I'm way too busy.
Come on, I'll introduce you to Colleen and Corbin. They're the show's hosts. Are you guys decent yet? Well, they will be. So call this number and you'll be a part of TV history right here on 11, Between Friends.
Friends, Viking Chevrolet in downtown Friendly has done it again. We're having a very special sale on several 1988 Chevrolet celebrities, all of them with all the candy, including air conditioning. You come on over here. You take your pick for only $139 a month or a low, low price of $6,388, and there's 5 to choose from at that price and that payment. We're Viking Chevrolet. We're open every night till 10 o'clock. And remember, we're on Central Avenue Northeast in downtown Friendly. See you here.
I just don't love you anymore.
You don't have to stand by and let the devil steal your family. God loves you. With his power, your family can be restored.
Dark news from Wall Street today.
God's prosperity covers all realms of life. It's not how much money a person has, but how they handle what God has given them.
He's not responding. Get the doctor.
God is not the cause of sickness and disease. He's always provided healing for his people.
Join Kenneth Copeland right here on KARE every Sunday at 10:30 a.m.
People around the world are struggling for democracy, for a voice in their government. Here in the United States, we each have a voice in our government. And the 1990 census can help keep it that way. When we count everyone in Minnesota, we'll get our fair share of representatives in Congress. Our census answers will also shape voting districts at every level of government. Preserve your voice. Answer the census. It counts for more than you think.
Sunrise time now is 6:44. Here are some of this morning's top stories. A chemical fire poses a threat to firefighters. A dry lake bed washes up danger. And a giant feast fills the food shelves. Here are some of the details. A 2-alarm fire in a cleaning products company forced firefighters to wear oxygen masks. Barrels of methanol, ammonia, and alcohol were damaged during the blaze. Recreational vehicles are replacing boats on dried-out Round Lake in Andover, and neighbors say it's not only illegal, but harmful to the environment. And metro area food shelves got a boost after the Taste of the Nation fundraiser last night. 32 chefs from local restaurants dished up delicacies and raised $90,000.
It is so good. We just can't get enough of the forecast this morning. We got Ellen to come back.
That's right. Well, mild and dry are the two words to best describe the weather. It'll continue into probably late Saturday. A few changes for Sunday and next week, but temperatures are going to remain well above normal. Here's a look at what's going outside right now. We have mainly clear skies, 33 degrees, a light southeast wind, dew point temperature of 29, and humidity at 85%. Pressure's now holding steady at 30.10 inches. It's 39 degrees right now in Thief River Falls and up into Grand Forks, while temperatures are basically in the upper 20s and low 30s across South Dakota. Even milder to our south, 38 now into Watertown and 40 degrees into Des Moines. Here's a look at that satellite picture. Clear skies across the state and extending back into the Dakotas and also into the northern Rockies. But still all the moisture to our south where it's been for the last couple of days. These brighter white clouds indicate the heavier showers and thunderstorms. A few tornadoes spawned last night with large hail in parts of southern Louisiana. Well, today's weather map does show a high pressure system that's off to our north and east, which is still influencing our weather because the jet stream is continuing to suppress all this moisture to our south. Winds are going to shift into the south this afternoon, and that will allow temperatures to reach the upper 50s and lower 60s by this afternoon. And then eventually this Pacific front will catch up with us. It looks like that will occur on Sunday. We'll find partly sunny skies then and maybe a few showers, but still temperatures will be above normal right into the 50s for Sunday and Monday. Highs today across the nation very spring-like. There's a small pocket of 40s here through the Central Plains because of the clouds and occasional rain. Looks like snows will continue in parts of the Colorado Rockies, where in northern New Mexico they saw 10 to 15 inches of new snow in the mountains there. And then tomorrow's weather map will feature that cold front sweeping east. Still ahead of it, 61 degrees for a high with plenty of sun. Forecasted detail today calls for the hazy sunshine, 55 to 60 by this afternoon. It'll be milder tonight by a few degrees, only cooling into the mid to upper 30s with skies remaining mostly clear. We'll find the sunshine for tomorrow, maybe a few high clouds, but temperatures still quite mild in the lower 60s. Maybe a few showers into Sunday. Actually, it looks like we could see even more moisture around here by Tuesday. That's when we could see the possibility of a real soaking. Of course, that's still a few days out, but the best chance for some moisture by then.
Well, that's good news then. Some of those grass fires we've been having will probably slow down a little bit.
Yes, certainly will.
Okay, thanks, Ellen.
Steve is here again. The national pastime is going to be highlighted.
Yeah, they could actually probably play outdoors today.
They could.
They're stuck at the Metrodome. Huh? There'll be some big-time baseball in town this weekend at the Metrodome. The Gophers hosting 3 national powers in the annual Pillsbury tournament. Here's the schedule for today's action. Second-ranked Miami plays top-ranked Wichita State in the opener of the round-robin tournament at 2 o'clock. Then tonight at 7:30, the 1990 Gophers make their home debut by going against 5th-ranked Stanford. Of course, we'll have complete coverage of the Pillsbury baseball tournament throughout the night and the weekend on KARE 11 News. On the pro side, Roy Smith and the Twins got ripped by the Reds yesterday afternoon. Paul O'Neill drilled a triple into the gap, allowing the Reds to score the first run of the game, which was played in Plant City, Florida. Later, the Reds scored again on a throwing error by catcher Brian Harper as his ball gets by the G-man, Gary Getty, and sails into left field. Cincinnati goes on to beat the Twins by the score of 4-2. Well, college hockey's Final Four returns to St. Paul next year, but this time around, the 4 semifinalists are in Detroit to battle for the national championship. The action gets underway this afternoon in that new format at Joe Louis Arena. Colgate takes on Boston University in the opener, and then the Wisconsin Badgers face off against Boston College. We'll let you know what happens tonight on KARE 11 News. Championship game, by the way, is set for Sunday afternoon. On the pro side, the North Stars were in Buffalo last night. Neil Broughton to Brian Bellows, who directed the puck into the goal with his left foot. They counted it. 54th of the year. Stars led 2-1 after 2. Then the Stars took a cat nap. In the third period, Buffalo scored 3 times to win it. Scott Arneal deflected the shot past Kerry Taco as the Sabres cut up the Stars. In the final period, they win it by the score of 4-2. In other NHL action, Boston topped Hartford. Chicago stopped Toronto, so the Hawks win the Norris Division title. St. Louis over Pittsburgh. New Jersey skated by the Rangers. Washington and the Flyers tied 2-2. Montreal beat Quebec, and Winnipeg shut out the LA Kings by the score of 1-0. In the NBA, Timberwolves are in Dallas tonight to kick off a 4-game road trip. The expansion team is shooting for its 20th win of the year. Tip-off at 7:30, and of course we'll let you know what happens tonight at 10. A big game for Houston's big man, Akeem Olajuwon. He recorded a rare quadruple double: 11 blocks, 18 points, 10 assists, and 16 rebounds. Olajuwon becomes only the 3rd player in NBA history to record such a feat. Akeem and the Rockets won 120-94. 5 other games in the NBA Thursday night. Indiana bumped off Sacramento. Portland took care of the Hawks. Dallas got by the Spurs. Phoenix crunched Charlotte, and Golden State outscored Utah by 5, 128-123. Finally this morning, let's take a break in the action to check out some sports bloopers. We'll get to the action in a minute, but first, our national anthem. All right, they're off and running in this East Coast racetrack. Looks like a normal race, but there's a minor problem. They can't get the starting gate off the track, so the announcer takes over like someone working at Kmart.
Attention jockeys, the starting gate is on the racetrack. Attention jockeys, attention jockeys, pull up your horses.
They got the problem cleared up, and then they had a do-over, as they call it.
Again. Huh? Thank you. Steve?
Well, when we come back, a trip down memory lane with Gil. Stay with us.
It's easy for you to say.
Not very.
Well, Phil, Gil, it's really been nice having you around here. I really got to tell you from my heart, Gil, that everybody's going to miss you. You know, without you around here, or Gil, I just don't know what people are going to do. So, Gil, you have a great retirement, play some golf, do some fishing, and
thanks, Ron.
We'll all miss you. Yeah, that's right. Ron.
Best of luck, Gil.
Yeah.
So, Bill, we haven't heard much from you since your accident. Guys on your crew want to know when you'll be back to work.
Well, the doctor said it's going to be a while.
Oh, the doctor.
Yeah.
So, what have you been doing with yourself?
Oh, I managed to keep busy.
Everything's okay around there, huh?
Oh, yeah, fine. Never better.
If you've been injured in an accident, know your rights. Call the law firm of Sieben Gross and Von Holtum.
You take care now.
Thanks. I will.
Come here, I want to show you something. Come on, it's about your furniture. Here's a typical chair. The way it looks before Park begins custom fitting your new upholstery. See this piece of webbing? It should be replaced, so Park does it. These springs, Park automatically reties them. At Park, we take pride in what we do, so you'll be proud of what you get. Join thousands of satisfied Park customers during our famous 20% off sale. Call today for a home appointment. You'll be glad you did.
Which would you choose? This great-looking new 1990 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme or $2,000 cash back? The Cutlass Supreme or $2,000? How about a 1989 Cutlass Supreme or $2,500 cash back? Let's make it really tough. Add another $600 cash back for first-time buyers, up to $3,100 cash back. Here's the good news. You can get both, the Cutlass Supreme and the cash. See your new generation of Oldsmobile dealer today.
Sunrise time now is 6:53. It's 33 degrees. And finally today, we're saying good luck to a longtime friend today. As we mentioned earlier, Gil is retiring after more than 30 years at this station. Now, we won't say this is a goodbye because a little bit of him will always be with each one of us. He's getting ready for that mission, folks. Photographer Kashmir Arani captures some of Gil's memorable moments with one of his favorite songs.
Gil Amundson anchors the 9:30 news, and a rarity these days, writes and edits his own scripts.
You never were flapped, you never were worried, and you were always very human to us. And that humanness came to us on the air. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I will always remember you. Good luck, my friend.
Say goodbye to you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We ain't standing in line. Right. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, lining up, Gil. Good luck. Let's hear.
I've worked for you for 27 years, and you've been one of the best bosses I've ever had.
Well, Pa, we're going to miss you here on Sunrise. Would you get your expense report in before you leave, please?
Now you're off to retirement, where I hope all the fish you catch are trophy size and all your golf games are under par.
And of course, we can't let you go without a few gifts. Steve has something for you from the
couple
sport.
of. You like to golf, I understand.
Oh, yes.
You gotta have a couple of golf balls. I guess you only need 3 because you never lose the thing.
No, down on the fairway always.
And then, of course, you like to fish, I understand. So we got you. They call that the rattle and wrap, the old rapla.
Yeah, I don't have one of those.
But then I know, in case you go fishing, just in Minnesota, this is the Viking edition.
Only for Minnesota.
Only for Minnesota fish. If you go across the border over to Wisconsin, the Green Bay
yeah.
Packer lures. So there you go. Best of
Thank
luck.
you very much.
And of
I'll
course,
use them all.
And the weather department
And
is in
on
on
behalf
this.
of the weather department, we present you with this compass, so you can find your way back home from all those fishing and golf trips.
Thank you very much. Oh, is that a dandy? Yeah.
And here's something none of us will need at this time of the morning, but we have a feeling you'll get a lot of use out of this. Think of us when your head is lying on this pillow and you're in sweet dreams, and we're all here working our little hearts out. But
Won't that be nice?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And Gil, we've got some very special people here today, too. Why don't you folks come on the set with you, or with us?
Should we get a program out here?
Cheryl, you can come over here if you'd like. Gil, if you want to introduce some of these people.
This is wife Shirley. Look at this, will you? How'd you guys get off? How'd you get off work? Huh? This is sister-in-law Karen. Oh, here he is, the Duke. This is the Duke, the patriarch of it all. My brother Dennis, his wife Joan, son Scott.
You guys can keep on moving back through here. We'll get
Did
everybody.
I say Karen? That's my wife's sister Karen. That's Brett over there, another brother's son. Here's sister-in-law Vicki, and the other brother Ron. Wade, his son, their son. He's got the grip like a. And this is Craig, that brother over. This is everybody right here. And this is, come on in, Chet. Gee, Debbie. Here I sit with this thing on like I've got an Afghan over my legs or something, huh? I move that down.
Gil, any words
Well,
for us?
no, nobody, it's time to retire because I had no idea. You know, how could you keep a secret like this? All these years?
Well,
Here you are on TV.
Yes, right. Gil, it's been a pleasure to work with you. I think I speak for many people in this station and in this city that have been happy to see you all these years.
Thank you. I had a good time.
Okay, why don't the rest of the crew come on up here that can and say goodbye to Gil, too.
3, 2, 1. Bye now. See you.